Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Schuyler Callihan here with another episode of Between the Ears. And look at this guy. I got my guy, Eugene Napoleon, back. First time since, I believe, the bowl game, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. He's been busy with stuff. Obviously, we've got a lot of crap going on our side as well. So glad to have Gene back. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. We haven't signed the paperwork yet or anything, but he will be back for another year of the Walkthrough Game Day show. I've already got that verbal commitment, so that's definitely going to happen. You'll see Gene around this show on this channel quite a bit over the football season, but we've got to talk about some of these uniforms and some of the comments that have come in from the fans. Gene, West Virginia, they unleashed that new look on Saturday during the spring game. I've got mixed feelings about it. I know you do probably as well. But let's just start there first. What do you think about the new look, and what did you feel like that they did well in areas maybe not so much?
Listen, I'm all good for progressing and moving forward. I'm all good for that. I'm a traditional guy. I like our traditional uniforms. And I'm talking about the switch between maybe our mid to late 80s to early 90s uniforms were,
Yeah,
for my taste, were the best. I mean, okay. When Rich Rod
no
switched
bias.
things up a little bit, you know what I mean? That was kind of hot as well. I like the new uniforms. My only question, and I get it when you put the West Virginia across the front of the jersey, I think that's cool. But I see so many other universities doing the same thing.
Yeah,
When I see that, like University of Minnesota, for instance, comes to mind. And
Rutgers.
I've always, you just had to go there.
I
You
had to
had
go there because I
to.
know you got a little spot in your heart that just can't stand Rutgers.
Well, listen. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So I wish we would have kept, and I think we do still have the flying WV at the top, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
I
on the
think
collar it's the
on the
state.
top,
It's the state.
it's the state. It's not the fly. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
whew, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Listen, every year, every 2 years or 3 years or so, you want to switch it up. You want to give a little bit different type of swag. I'm sure when they go back in their fashion bag, they're going to come back to maybe uh, certain games. They may throw back a retro look. You know what I'm saying? They may do that. I think which would be a good idea.
Oh
But
yeah, I've been saying it
if
for
this
years.
is what they're right, if this is what they're rolling out to start the 2024 season, so be it. Look, listen. As long as the colors are the same, I think I'm good. If you
And as
start
long as
tampering
they're
with the
winning.
colors, trouble.
Yeah,
Say it again.
if they're winning ball games, I don't think anyone's really going to care what they look like. But I'm with you. Like, there's certain elements that I really like. I think the stripes on the pants for me are like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe they did it. It looks terrific.
Right.
Reminds you
Yeah.
of the Nehlen days, and it's just a sharp, classic look that I don't think can be beaten. Like I don't like the solid pants with just the flying WV. That's just too blah for me. And
Yeah.
really, this past uniform set, that was kind of the issue that I had. Like, it was a clean, very clean look, but it lacked character to me. And it
Yeah.
was just blue with a gold number, nothing really to it. I do like the shoulder stripes. I know some people are kind of up in the air on it. Some love it, some hate it. I love it because it, again, reminds me of the Geno days, the Tavon Austin days, the Pat White days. So to be able to incorporate that, I thought was really cool. But probably the biggest thing for me is that flying WV right here on on the side of the shoulder pads. That is sick. To be able to bring that back, and because I think these past 6 years, or going back to 2013, I should say, I think that's really the only span where the flying WV wasn't visible on the side of the
Right.
shoulder pads, because it was there during the Geno and Pat White days, and I'm pretty certain it was there for your days, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So you know
So
what happened? It looks like they took different eras, a piece from
yeah,
each era,
and put it all in
and
one.
put it all in one. And the West Virginia across the front is something totally new. That's fine. But it looked like they took a piece from each era and put it all in this one uniform. And if that's the case, you're paying homage to each era. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing to do. I mean, some elements of it, like I think they maybe want to tad overboard. Like, I agree. The lettering right here, I don't hate it. It's just too big. It takes up too much real estate on the front of the jersey, and it looks like it's too clunky. You know what I mean? I think
Right.
if you go back to, I want to say maybe the early Pat White days in the earlier 2000s, they used to have, I think it was Mountaineers right here, but it was like this small.
True.
Now,
Yeah.
you want it that small? I don't know. But to me, I think if you just have the flying WV on the shoulder pads and you put a flying WV right here on the neck of the collar, people are going to know who you are.
But
Like,
that's hot.
you don't need a big West Virginia going across or Mountaineers going across.
Well, I guess they want to prove a point. You know who we are. I guess they
Yeah,
want to make sure that, you know, state the
just in
name and say it
case.
loud. Right. State the name and say it loudly. Now we win 10 or 11 games. It wouldn't matter what they had across the jersey.
Right, right. So the good part about this, at least for me, selfishly speaking, is we don't have to look at the horrible gray uniforms anymore. Those are
Yeah,
a thing
man.
of the past. They're moving on from that. However, Gene, I believe we're going to get a black alternate uniform. It's not a for sure thing, but wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think it's going to happen. Your thoughts on an all black uniform if it
Now
happens?
see, I see again, here's my problem. Here's my problem. You're messing around with the colors, man.
Yeah.
You're messing around with the colors. Old gold and blue. Leave it alone. Now, if you want to get sexy, then go all blue, opposed to all black. If you want to get sexy, all blue, blue pants,
Yeah.
blue jerseys, blue helmets. Honestly, if you talk about, because if you go all black, what are you going to do? Black helmets, black shirts, black pants?
And then have gold trim and you'll look like the Steelers or Iowa. So
Yeah, come on now. Come on now. All right. Look, see, I don't know. Look, you done knocked
see
me off my pivot.
this this is one of the reasons why I want to say they're not going to have, if they do have a black uniform, I don't think they're going to put gold in it. I think it would be like one of those weird looking uniforms where you have two dark colors together, where it's like you have maybe the numbers are blue on the black uniform outlined, maybe in white or something. Like it, I don't think you can put black and gold together because it's going to tick a lot of West Virginia fans off, in that it does look like the Steelers, or it doesn't look like, I don't know. I feel like even if you do throw out the black, it's just not going to look like West Virginia. However, I've said for years they need to do an all black uniform for a night game and call it the Coal Rush. I've said this for years. But
Now,
as I've
listen.
gotten a little older,
Uh-huh.
my opinion on that has kind of changed a little bit. And I'm with you in aligning that, like, I just stick with the blue and gold. The black, the gray, all that stuff, everyone's doing that. Everyone's done that. That was a
Yeah.
big thing from like the early 2000s till maybe a couple years ago. And then the chrome thing kind of became a thing.
Right.
Don't go with everybody else. Move in your own in your own stream here, and just go with the blue and gold.
Listen, stay in your own bubble.
Yeah, yeah,
I just, I don't know. Again, West Virginia we've always been known blue and gold, gold and blue. When you throw black in, because there's not too many things you can do with black with with the signature uniforms that we typically have.
yeah.
That's the problem that I have with that. You can't you can't mix black into blue and gold.
It just looks weird.
It just looks weird. You understand what I'm saying?
It
Now
does.
there's some schools who get away with it. If Iowa did it, they're traditionally, black and gold.
Or even
You can
Ohio
do
State, when they roll out the black uniforms, I mean, it looks good with red and white and scarlet.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
makes sense.
Absolutely.
Duke,
Even if, man, I hate to say this, even if Schmuckers rolled out something
and they have.
and they had, I mean, that looks, it looks decent, even though it's Rutgers.
Yeah.
No, I think we stay away from the black. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You know,
But like I said,
but I do like what I saw in the variations of the new uniforms that we have for this 2024 season. I think it's cool. I really do.
But the stripes on the pants, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, that took it home.
That's straight fire.
I was all in.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, the black uniform more than likely going to happen. Even Ren kind of mentioned something about a new uniform also coming out here soon. But quickly, I did want to get to some of these fan comments from yesterday's show because I did ask them to put in their input on this. So we got F. Olinger says, I don't like stripes on uniforms, which is interesting. I thought that was the most fire part of the whole fit. I prefer a more solid, clean look. However, just when and almost no one will care what they're wearing, which I agree. Corey the Punk says, on the new uniforms, I love them. From the flying WV back on the shoulders to the stripes on the pants. I know the lettering on the front is either hit or miss with people, but I've grown to like it. I was disappointed that we still have matte helmets. That's an interesting part. I'll get your thoughts on that here just quickly in a second. But I did see a close-up with the blue matte helmet with the white jersey and white pants, and it actually looks really nice and complements each other very well. We got one here talking about Nico. That's not it. And we had, I think that was pretty much it in terms of the uniforms. We had some others about the quarterback playing the spring game. But, the matte helmets, that was the last thing I wanted to touch on here. I'm literally 50-50 on this. When they first went to it, it was the new thing. Everyone was going to the matte finish, and I loved it. And some people hated it because that was a new thing. People don't like change. Over the last 2 or 3 years, I've kind of grown back into maybe I'm just getting old, Gene. You know, like I want the traditional look, the glossy helmets, not all the fancy stuff. I don't want the black alternate uniform. Like I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, I like the glossy helmet. I wish it would come back. But like the one fan said, it did look really good with the white jersey, and I think it was the gold pants or the white pants. It looked really good on. But the matte finish helmet, thoughts on it? Whether that should stay or go back to glossy?
I like the glossy. That again, that's just me.
Especially for night games, it looks beautiful.
Absolutely. You know what it is? There's some things that you just don't touch. Yeah, like the color scheme. You don't touch the color scheme. You just don't touch it.
Exactly.
I like glossy because, like you said, night games, it shows up so well on TV. It looks so sexy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm about 60-40 because I know if that looks good and it meshes well with certain jersey colors or whatever, and people are like, well, that does look kind of good with that. To me, glossy looks good with anything.
Yeah, it does.
That's just me. Yeah.
My only one would be if you want to keep anything matte finish, I think probably the gold helmets would probably look better. I don't know what a gold glossy helmet would look like. I don't know. I mean, you would maybe look at like the Green Bay Packers helmet, for example.
Right. But they're very bright.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if it would look good. Maybe that's the one you keep matte, but I think definitely blue and white, you go back to glossy.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So, but it's going to be interesting. I tell you what, win 10 or more games, and they'll be out there with paper bags on their head. And everybody, those are nice.
Yeah, we're not even going to be talking about what they're wearing. Like, let's be honest. How many post-game shows have we done over the years and said, well, okay, maybe outside of the Duquesne game, we were talking about the gray uniforms because they're playing Duquesne. What else are we supposed to talk about? But outside of that one occurrence, do we even talk about the uniforms of the post game? So it doesn't matter. Look good, feel good, you win. That's all that really everyone cares.
That's the only thing that really counts. I don't know how I would feel if you won 10 games in black uniforms, but that's another story another.
Yeah. If we're gonna do this, Ren, because I know you're listening, Ren, we're only gonna wear them once a season, right? We're not gonna get this into where it's 3 or 4 times a year. And fans, don't worry, it's not going to happen like that. It will probably be a one-time a year thing, maybe 2, but nothing more than that. So, anyways, that'll do it for us here on this episode of Between the Ears. For my guy, Eugene Napoleon, I'm Schuyler Callihan. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube page here at Mountain Ears Now. Give us a like and a follow on X at that same handle. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode here on Between the Ears.